And we're back. Poor old Stanton. He's been under threat from a creature from another dimension for what must feel like weeks. Is he going to join Lex in the afterlife of lost adventurers? Let's find out on Steady Roller Man Presents The Masks of Nyarlathotep.
Okay, the action begins in the early hours of Monday, the 16th of February, 1925, in a field near the village of Milton, south-west of Derbyshire. Stanton, Blake and Jacob are heading away from a copse where Lex and two Henson manufacturing guards have just been buried and are about two-thirds of the way back from the copse to the lorry, the Bedford lorry, which is parked by a farm gate in a lane. The night is cloudy and overcast. We're about a couple of 100 yards away from the truck. The wind stirs, a slow, creeping breath that carries something unnatural with it. A low resonance thrums the air. Not quite a growl, not quite the wind, but something alive. A pressure begins to build, prickling at the backs of your necks. Then, a shadow moves across the sky. It is vast. For the brief moments that you see it, a shape that should not be there, gliding impossibly fast. A sound rises above the whispering wind. A rush of wind howls through the darkness. A monstrous shape diving towards you, its vast leathery wings folding as it streaks downwards.
You broke the seal, and I'm coming for you.
It moves like a spear of living shadow towards you, moving impossibly fast. For a thing of its size, its eyes malicious yellow orbs fixed unerringly on its prey. What are you going to do?
Run.
Okay,
Yeah.
Can you all make a sanity roll, please, before you do anything else?
Oh dear. So 90 for Stanton.
Okay,
I'm unshaken. That is a success for me.
you succeeded. It's a fail for Stanton. Yeah, what about Jacob?
It's a fail for me.
Okay, Stanton, seeing this unearthly horror hurtling towards you from the sky, eyes, terrible, malicious, malignant eyes fixed on you. You lose 4 sanity. You let out a scream involuntarily. All you can do is think about running. And Jacob, you can see the thing. Oh, okay. Your mind snaps at the terribleness of this, whatever this thing is that is approaching out of the clouds. You lose 10 sanity. Yeah. Okay. Jacob, your mind is unable to cope with the terror of this thing, and you just faint to the ground, just flop. Okay, so Jacob's fallen to the ground, and the other. So you're just going to both sprint. Which direction are you running in? Firstly, it is going to be Jacob. Sorry, not Jacob. Blake. Which direction are you running in?
I am gonna. Which direction is the creature coming from?
Well, it's just coming straight down from above you.
Right. I'm going to turn and run towards the trees.
Back the way you came.
Yep.
Okay. Stanton, what are you doing?
I was going to run to the truck, so I'll keep running to the truck.
Okay.
Can I? Well, I lost sanity. Can I make rational decisions about road?
Yeah, you're not insane.
Okay.
You're still sane.
So I'm going to run for the truck, but I'll try to zigzag. So if it's bearing down, I'll zigzag on my way to
Okay.
every 10 yards changed up.
Okay. Danson, you begin to sprint towards the truck, and the terrible thing that's above you begins to swoop in your direction. It's following you.
Is there a hedge nearby?
You're in the middle of an open field.
Okay, I'll just continue running full pelt for the truck. And then when I get to it, if I get to it first, I will just try to dive underneath and go crawl to the far side.
Okay.
Nyarlathotep, son of Thoth, messenger of the house of God, wearer of flasks, stalker of the weak, holder of the dark. I hope the seal breaker has commanded to honor thy name. Nyarlathotep.
Suddenly, with a sickening crack, it unfurls its vast wings at the last moment, stopping its dive with a force that shakes the ground. A gust of repugnant air slams into you, knocking you back as the horror lands its huge mass before you. What are you going to do? It's literally now landed in the middle of the field. It's about 10 yards away from you, between you and the truck.
I will turn and run to the side.
Okay. The thing coils on the moor before you, its massive, ropey, serpentine body writhing, gleaming like oil in the dim light. Wings the size of carriage sails stretch and beat, stirring up a buffeting wind that stings your skin. Can you make a dex roll, please?
Pass.
Okay. You the wind buffets you from behind. Somehow you manage to keep your balance, and the grass is long and slippery, but you manage to plough through it as fast as you can. You turn, and you see the thing is upon you. Its head, elongated and grotesquely bearded, snaps towards you, jaws parting to reveal rows of glistening fangs. A thick, wet hiss fills the air as its tail lashes behind it. It's on you. What are you going to do?
I will shout at it. Begone, foul creature. I broke the seal. It is not me that you want. If I command you, I command you to leave. Go back to where you came from.
You will hunt anything. You will die.
A claw the size of a man's chest slams into the ground, gouging deep trenches into the cold earth. The beast's body surges forward impossibly fast. Terrible, jagged, fang-lined maw wide open, ready to savour the taste of its prey. What are you going to do? You can either try and dodge it, you can shoot at it, or you can... Well, yeah, those are your two options.
Dodge and run.
Okay.
You'll be wanting to roll, won't you?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a fail.
Okay. Jaws like iron slam shut around your torso. You scream, but the sound is muffled as the monster's fangs sink deep into your flesh.
And that's it. Stanton's body goes limp.
Your ribs creak and snap under the pressure. Fire-hot pain lanes through your body. You're yanked from the ground with horrifying ease, limbs flailing, the world tilting madly as the thing rises into the night sky. So, Blake, you're still running. I guess are you looking back over your shoulder, or?
Well, I'm definitely going to look back when I hear a scream.
You've heard quite a lot of screams, but this one is particularly guttural. You turn and you see the limp body of Stanton being yanked like a rag doll into the sky by this huge thing.
How far away is it?
From you?
Yeah.
About 30 yards?
No.
35 yards.
Okay, I'll try and shoot at it.
Okay.
See if it will drop Stanton.
Roll to hit them, please.
That's a hit. I
Okay.
need 5 at one shot.
Okay, roll your damage.
5.
5 damage, okay.
Yeah.
Your gun pierces, and the sound of the wind and the screams of Stanton. The thing just seems to show no response. You don't even know whether you hit it. It just carries on ascending into the darkness.
How far away am I from the woods?
You're about 30, 40 feet away from the woods.
Right, I'll get to the tree line whilst watching where the creature's headed,
Okay.
and I'll stop there. So if it looks like it's coming in for another pass, then I'll go into the woods. But I'll watch and see what happens. Can I see Jacob from where I am? Or is it too far?
You can see, you can see where he's fallen. Yeah. You see the horror jerks its head back as it ascends, ripping its head violently from side to side, ripping and tearing. See blood gushes from gaping wounds. Then its head tilts back, the jaws part, and Stanton hangs for one dreadful moment over the abyss of the creature's gullet, then disappears.
Close my eyes and look down at the ground.
All is quiet in the field. All you can see above you now are clouds, almost as if it was just a dream, a nightmare, all too real. This thing, whatever it was, is no longer here.
I'll return to still keeping an eye on the sky. I'll return back to where the creature and Stanton faced off and see whether there's anything dropped or any sign of Stanton's passing there.
Okay, you shine your torch around in the last place that you saw Stanton, before he was from his feet. The only thing that you find is a pendant showing a 7-pointed star with an all-seeing eye at its centre.
Oh,
That you
I remember that. I'll pick it up and put it in my pocket and head over to Jacob.
okay? Jacob is unconscious.
I'll pick up his body and take him to the lorry.
Okay. You carry him the couple hundred yards to the lorry. Place it. What are you going to do? Put him in the cab?
I'll put him in the cab next to me. The shotguns are in there as well, aren't they?
Mhm.
I'll make sure they're loaded. In the back, did we
Yeah.
take what did we take from the factory? We didn't. We destroyed everything, did we? Did we take the plans? I can't
No,
remember.
you took all. You took the plans and you took the prototypes.
Right, so we've still got all that.
You took the stuff that you found in the safe, basically.
Right, okay. So we need somewhere to try and stash that.
It's about 2 a.m. now.
I will. I have no idea where I'm going to go. I
Okay,
will.
but sorry, Karen. Yeah,
No,
at
I'll
least you
get
can.
in. Okay.
Just need to. Okay, Jacob, you begin to come around. Find yourself in the front seat of the lorry, pit in the darkness. Last thing you can remember was something in the clouds above the field. Everybody running and shouting.
I'll pull the lorry over
Around.
again when I see him. When he starts coming round, I'll pull over.
Yeah, sorry, you hadn't actually started off
Oh,
before.
okay.
Yeah, you were just still
Right.
deciding what to do.
I start up, drive a little further down the road, and then pull over again. How are you feeling, Jacob?
Where's Santa? I don't remember what happened. There was
He's
some shadow. Like,
he's gone. He's dead. Something came from the sky and took him. It was only interested in him. I ran. I think the shock of seeing it took you out, and it just ate him. It took him into the sky, and then he was gone.
relax, now Stanton. Are you sure?
I absolutely no mistake. I saw it happen. I took a shot at it, but it didn't even seem to register. I might have missed. I don't think I did.
Can you just on that basis, actually, now that you begin to relive the experience of seeing your colleague eaten by this thing, can you make another sanity roll?
Yes, it's a success this time
Yeah.
round.
Yeah.
Oh, you
I
didn't
think
see
I
it.
think I think I gained sanity from it.
Yeah, you didn't need to roll, Jacob, because you didn't actually witness it. But
Okay.
Blake, yeah, okay, Blake, yeah, you're
Nah.
tonight.
Yeah.
It's been you as affected as you are. It hasn't. And maybe it's because of the fact that you flipped earlier and now have a new resolve. Somehow
Yeah. Everything. Nothing's.
your mind is steeled against it.
Or just unaccepting of or accepting of everything. It's just too much to take in. Two friends from way back gone in the space of 2 hours. Jacob, I don't know what we're going to do. There's only two of us left. You're in no great shape. I don't know where we go. We've got stuff in the back of the truck that we don't know what it is, what we can do with it. We don't know where to go next. Gavigan knows who we are. Do we destroy this stuff? Do we give up? Do we unleash hell on them?
I don't know, Douglas.
What do we tell Stanton's family? I mean, he was only phoning them the other day. He can't even tell them what happened or give them a body. I did get this though. I found it on the ground. I showed him the pendant. That is what started it all for him. I don't know. I don't think we can go to his family home and tell them. So we'll just have to disappear.
Right now, I feel like giving up, Douglas. I don't think I can take anything anymore.
But then they died for nothing, and we don't. And we know what's coming. If that's what they do, if that's what they can summon now, I think what's coming, if they're successful in what they're attempting, it won't just be Lex, it won't just be Stanton, it could be everyone.
I can't against them, just the two of us. We're dropping like flies. Let's just get somewhere safe for tonight.
But where? I don't. Somewhere completely unconnected. Of just
Perhaps we can park up somewhere remote and sleep in the back of the truck.
worry about it tomorrow morning. Yeah.
Okay, so what you going to do then?
We're going to drive towards Wales.
Okay.
So just drive west.
West.
we'll get a good couple of hours away from where we are. Oh, crap. No, we won't. We've got to go back because we left everything our stuff's in the
Train lockup.
lockup and
And in the room
our
as well.
stuff's in the room. Stanton had the scroll on him, so that's gone.
There was a book. There was a book that was left in the room.
Yeah, and everything. We've got to, Stanton. We've got to go back.
Well, let's head back to the outskirts of Derby and perhaps pick everything up tomorrow morning, and then perhaps we could drive the truck to I don't know where we go.
We need to park it up somewhere safe. Head back in the morning, get everything, and then get out. So if we can park up somewhere, if we find a bus stop outside the town, park up near there, catch a bus in first thing in the morning, collect everything, catch a bus back, and then take the lorry to wherever.
The only potential ally I can think of is Zara Shafiq, and we don't know whether she's an ally or not.
Well, you know my thoughts on that. I don't think she's to be trusted. I have someone I could contact for assistance depending on what we decide to do. If we go and where is it? The Limehouse. Go to the warehouse next. We might need some muscle. I could probably get someone to assist us with that. Assuming if we do nothing more, I think we should burn down Gavigan's operation completely. Just destroy it. It will slow them down. Even if we don't do anything else to any of the other factions in Egypt or Australia or Singapore or wherever the hell we're supposed to be going next. Let's blow Gavigan to Kingdom Come.
Let's just take it one step at a time. Let's find somewhere outside Derby to get a couple of hours rest, and then we're going to need to keep the truck, aren't we? We can't carry around the quantity of machinery and strange artifacts that we have. So, like you say, we'll clear the hotel out tomorrow, and then I think perhaps drive to London.
Or we could find a lockup. We could hire a lockup somewhere. Hire a lockup in Birmingham, and put the truck in there. Or we destroy this stuff. We destroy the whole lot. Because what do we need it for? We're keeping it for why? We're not going to build whatever it is that they're trying to build. If we keep it and they kill us, they get it back. So we haven't slowed them down at all. So Lex's death, Stanton's death's for nothing.
No,
Maybe
I agree.
we should destroy it. Burn the designs, destroy the originals, and destroy the replicas they were making. If this stuff's so important to them, that's more than a reason enough to destroy it.
Perhaps. I agree. We need to hide it up. I still think the difficulty is destroying this is just a temporary setback for them.
Yeah, but it's a start, and it will slow them down. I'm not saying that that's all we do. I'm saying we then go in and we do for Gavigan, and we do for anyone associated with Gavigan. But there is nothing, unless you can think of a good reason why we should keep this. It does nothing except put more of a target on our back, and it will slow them down less if they manage to retrieve it from us. Unless we can use it as a bargaining chip. But I don't know what we would be bargaining for.
Well, if we were to speak to Zara Shafiq, perhaps if one of us went on the basis that the other one will destroy them if they hear nothing from us, at least that might guarantee the safety of whoever speaks to her, and make sure that one of us stays alive to destroy them.
That's a hell of a risk, though, isn't it? I'm not sure I would be willing to risk your life or my life on if she is not to be trusted. Maybe she would take the risk, kill you, and then hope that she can track me down, or vice versa. As you say, it only slows her down slightly. I don't know. Let's get all our stuff together first. Get some sleep. Clear up what we can of this mess, and then make a decision once I can get some of these sights out my head.
I agree. I don't think now's the time to be making decisions beyond the next few hours.
No.
Okay, so what's your plan in terms of where you're going to go next then? Back towards Derby, did you say?
Drive back towards Derby.
Are you going to go back on the same, because the main road into Derby from where you currently are is the Uttoxeter road, which is where obviously where you left by, which is where the...
No, we're going to take a loop round.
Okay.
So we're coming in from the north,
Right.
And we'll stop a few miles out, find a side road, park up, sleep there. Then in the morning, find a bus stop and get a bus in.
Okay. So you're going to go to round to the north of Derby.
Yeah.
Okay. You drive round to the north past, and you find yourself approaching Derby on an A road once again, coming through a town called Little Eaton, which would seem to suffice for. It's a smallish town, quite industry with yards and such like. And lots of places where you can
Park up and the lorry wouldn't
park
seem
up.
out of place.
Yeah, exactly that. That's
Yeah.
exactly. So, what sort of time are you trying to head back? Well, how long are you going to rest for? Is what I'm trying to say.
Have a look at a bus. Is there a bus timetable at a bus stop at all?
Or we could get a train in. I mean, it makes if there's
Yeah.
a
There's
station.
I don't think
No
there's a
station,
station here. No. But
Okay. In which case, first thing we want to try and get there as soon as possible. So
Try and
be
get the first bus in.
yeah. So I'll aim to be in by 8.
The
7?
first bus is at 7:36 a.m.
All right, catch that then.
Yeah.
We'll lock the shotguns in the back of the lorry.
Okay.
Take the keys.
So you're going to leave the lorry parked up in a kind of down like there's an area which is like got a coal yard and a
Yeah.
brickyard and some other commercial buildings.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna leave all the stuff in the lorry, did you say?
Yep.
Yeah.
Including the plans and all the other bits and pieces as well.
Yeah. Everything.
What about taking the plans with us?
Yeah. I suppose the plans that yeah. Okay. Let's take the plans because at least they can't build anything more without them.
What about the shotguns?
Shotguns going in the back.
Okay.
We're locking.
Yeah. It is a box kind of truck, so it does have like a hard back. So yeah. Okay, and you're locking it up, and then.
So is there any? I'll take a paper out of my notebook and write back in 30 minutes and put it in the dashboard in the front of the windscreen.
Looking at each other, you're both pretty not
Muddy.
muddy and also bloody as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, Blake, you're more bloody than Jacob because you were close to when Lex fell.
Yeah, I'm wearing Lex.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not something that just a few dabs of water are going to get rid of either.
Perhaps we should drive into Derby and just literally unload the stuff from the hotel into the truck and hightail it.
It's bold.
Well, we're going to draw huge attention travelling on a bus covered in blood and gore.
Yeah, but we'll also be driving a truck that belongs to the factory that burned down during the night, and there's bound to be police around. That's going to attract enough attention.
The truck have a number plate.
Yeah.
So someone will recognise it.
It's also got Henson Manufacturing written on the side as well.
Okay.
They'll never catch us. I like that idea for a minute because it was proper.
Balls out.
Yeah.
Well,
do we have enough? Do we have enough clothes between us to get one set of clothes?
No, because most of your clothes are back in the hotel, wouldn't they?
No, I mean as in like between Jacob and me, could we make one set of clothes out of what we're wearing between us?
At least one of us looks vaguely respectable.
Yeah.
I don't think so. No, because you've only got 2 pairs of trousers, one each. So
Fair enough. At least our trousers are messed up. So why couldn't I have just got splattered on my jacket and you get splattered on your trousers and we could just.
You got splattered on everything.
Yeah, I know. I was. We can't even sort of like nip into a public toilets and clean up because it's not going to be sufficient.
We have to drive out into the countryside and find a lake or a stream and wash them.
Yep. Okay, that slows us down, but yeah, and then it'll be soaking wet and it's winter. I don't know how we're going to dry them off on the engine.
Is the Henson engineering sign written, or is it a sign that could be removed?
It's painted on the side, so it is sign written.
I'm less concerned about the things that are in the locker because we've got a bit of time before we have to retrieve those. But the things in the hotel room.
Could we drive to London and come back, and we've got to change your clothes?
Yeah, well, that means we're still going to have to walk into our hotel looking like this. Again, we can't really drive around in this lorry for too long. I mean, although Gavrigan wouldn't necessarily report it stolen, because he wouldn't want the police getting hold of what we've got, but it would still attract attention if we drove it so close to the factory, what's left of the factory.
Did you say you had friends in Limehouse?
No, I don't have friends in Limehouse, but I have friends in London who might be able to assist. That's
Maybe I'll
not
just-
actually a bad idea.
Somewhere to hide the lorry.
Well, not so much that. If I can get them to get someone to drive up with clothes for us and a car, then they could meet us, give us a change of clothes, and then we could use the car to go and collect everything.
Will all the stuff we loaded into the lorry, is it too big to fit in a car?
No, they're not massive. They're quite small components.
Okay, so we
You can fit them in
can take
you
it
can
with
fit them
us.
in a car boot. Yeah.
Well, maybe if we head in the direction of London, I mean, I think we need to get away from Derby. That's where the truck's going to be most recognisable. And then
Right.
we can try and find a means of contacting your associates on the way.
Well, I can just phone. If we can
Perhaps
find
they
a
could-
public phone box, I'll phone them now.
And perhaps we can meet them north of London.
Let's drive to a phone box.
Okay. So it's early morning. It's just past 7. This is after you've woken up. You're going to now drive to a phone box, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a phone box in the centre of Little Eton. You can easily find.
Okay, pull up and I will go and make a phone call.
Okay. Are you planning? So who are you going to phone?
I want to phone Mr. Finch,
Yeah.
Mr. Birdie Finch, and I will tell him that everything that I've been sending him, everything's gone sideways, and that Lex and Stanton have been killed, and I really need his help. Can he send somebody with a change of clothes and a car up to our location to help us retrieve some items? And I'll also tell him that everything that I've been writing to him about is becoming significantly more serious and will need his assistance in the form of some muscle to help extricate ourselves and stop what's going on.
Okay. So the first request then is for a car to be sent up with somebody to help you up here.
Yeah.
And whereabouts are you going to plan to meet?
I think I don't want to drive all the way down. I want you to
Halfway
drive
up.
all the way. Well,
Oh.
not even halfway up. We'll just hang around outside this town, and then you can come here.
Mhm, okay.
And that's it.
Okay.
So does that fit with you, Dave?
Yep, I'm on board.
Okay. After a conversation of about 15 minutes, Blake emerges from the phone box, heads back to.
Right. It's sorted. We need to head down to Repton, and someone will meet us there with a change of clothes. We can take it fairly easy. They're coming up from London, so it'll be probably 3 hours before we meet up.
Okay, well done. Thank you.
Well, don't thank me yet. We're not out of this quite yet, but we have a way ahead. Let's get moving.
Okay, so you're going to now take the truck back round Derby.
Yeah, around the outside.
Yeah.
Going slow.
Okay.
Second.
Can you make a luck roll, you both, please?
Yeah, which one of us is going to drive? I'll drive because I think I'm more mentally stable than you.
That's a fail.
Mine's a good pass.
Okay, so yours is the normal fail, and yours is a
You do thingies for luck, hard successes and
you
things.
can for this roll, so it's a hard success, is it?
Then I'm going to have to work that out. Yes.
Okay. You glance down at the needle on the lorry and realise there's about a quarter of a tank of petrol left,
Ah,
which would be more than enough to take you to Repton and then into Derby.
yeah. Well, that's fine. Because we're planning on getting rid of this lorry anyway. So as long as it gets us to Repton, that's all we need, and then probably far enough out of the town to abandon it.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. So you head to Repton, which takes you the circuitous route that you take about half an hour. And are you just going to park up where you
Yeah, where we arranged to meet. So
yeah on the well, you didn't really know the town very well, so I guess it was just the main road coming into it from the south.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're going to park up on the side of the road.
yeah, let's park up, wait.
Okay, actually, yeah, because your contact at the other end would have had a map anyway, so you could have just
Yeah, well, I was gonna
Yeah,
say that we probably had a
agreed
map.
road. You said agreed a road name, wouldn't you? Rather than just, yeah. Okay, cool. Right. Patching it, get a bit more rest. Jacob, you don't feel too bad actually after the experience, other than feeling a little bit more fragile mentally. There doesn't seem to be any further lasting effects like there was last time when you met that thing in the fog.
Relief.
Okay.
That's the power of denial for you.
Find out about that when we go sailing in
Yeah.
Egypt.
I think we haven't been to Egypt.
Okay, about 3 hours has passed, and about you start your pocket watches every kind of few minutes now. It's about 10:30 now on Monday morning. It's a grey morning. People of Repton going about their business. Drizzly rain. You just sat in a lorry looking inconspicuous.
Starting to get a bit smelly.
Yeah, when about maybe 3 hours 20 minutes, pushing on to 3.5 hours, you begin to get a little bit fidgety. When a blue Vauxhall turns the corner of the street that you're parked in, and proceeds slowly in your direction, and then stops across the road from you, and a kind of slight average, maybe just below average height man. Looks working class. Got thinnish hair. He's got a face that's a rugged face. Put it that way. He steps out of the car, throws a cigarette down on the ground, and stamps on it.
I'll climb out. Mr. Briggs,
Mr. Blake,
glad you could make it. Do you have the clothes for us?
on the boot, Mr. Blake. Come this way, please.
Excellent. I'll follow Mr. Briggs to the car.
Okay, you cross the wet streets to the car, and true to his word, he opens the boot of the Vauxhall and takes out a suit jacket, some what's it called? A suit case, I guess. Is that a suitcase? I was trying to think of what you put a suit in.
bag.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
the word.
Yeah.
But takes out a suitcase and it flicks it open, and there's enough clothes for the two of you in there.
Excellent. I'll take those, and maybe I'll introduce you to my friend, Mr. Lockhart, in the cab. Safe journey up, I assume.
Yeah, no problems.
Excellent.
Didn't see anything untoward. All
Good. We may require your services for a little bit longer today, if that's all right. I did ask Mr. Finch if that was all right. I'm assuming that he told you what our requirements were.
Mr. Finch has asked me to deliver you the clothing and return you to London. If
Excellent.
you need any further assistance after that, I'm sure Mr. Finch will be happy to oblige.
Much appreciated. If you could wait in the car, then I'll get changed, give the clothes to Jacob, and we can get moving. We're going to have to dispose of this lorry at some point, but we've got some items in the back that we'll probably need you to transport for us.
Nasty fire dispose of, or cliff face? What are we talking about here, Mr. Blake?
Well, we'll discuss it. I need to agree it with Jacob first. There are some items we don't know whether we need to retain them, hide them, or dispose of them quite yet. But we do have some retrieval work to do in Derby, which will definitely require some subtlety. So, but let me get changed, because as you can see, I do rather stand out, given the state of my
You do look
current
like
attire.
you've had an unfortunate evening, sir.
It was most unfortunate, and not something I would like to repeat. Anyway,
I'll get changed too.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll give us 5 minutes, and we'll be right with you.
Douglas,
Sorry,
is-
Mr.
well,
Briggs.
well,
It's what Mr. Briggs. It's all terribly formal. Do you have a first name?
I do, Mr. Blake, sir. It's just Mr. Briggs at the moment. Let's warm up to each other first, shall we, sir?
Quite all right. That's fine. Right. Sorry, Jacob.
right, I'll go and get some clothes, and
Okay.
I'm going to wait until we're out of earshot of Mr. Briggs.
Yeah, go get changed in the back of the lorry.
Yeah, I was going to say the back of the lorry makes sense. Yeah. Okay,
There's
you're in the back of the
there's
lorry.
someone you can trust, Douglas.
As much as I can trust anyone. He's a work associate of someone I knew back in my policing days. I trust him, so by extension, I trust Mr. Briggs. As to whether I trust him with the details of what we're involved in, as far as I know, he is unaware of that. So I would be cautious about talking about those kind of things in front of him.
He's not a cop, is he?
No, he's not. So we're safe from that perspective. I suspect he probably has a history with law enforcement, not within law enforcement.
Okay.
But regardless, probably more your kind of compatriot rather than mine, Jacob.
Okay, so someone we
suspect
definitely can't trust.
Definitely can't trust. He may well have a history in, I don't know, cabinet making or, watch repairs, that kind of thing.
All right. Okay.
But he has provided us with clothes and he's provided us with a car. And for now, I think that is best we can hope for. So I suggest that we get this gear into the back of the car, we dump this lorry somewhere, and then we go and retrieve the stuff from Derby and get back to London as soon as possible. And then, depending on what we decide to do next, either Mr. Briggs can join us on a little visit to Limehouse, or we bid him farewell.
Do you think they'll have reported last night's events to the police?
Well, definitely the police and fire brigade would have turned up regardless, would they? You can't keep a blaze that big
Of course, yeah.
quiet.
I just wonder whether Mr. Briggs might be prevailed upon to clear the hotel rooms for us.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. Well, mind you, that being said, that would look more unusual, do you not think? I mean, we haven't. If we turn up in regular clothes, they're not going to be looking for us, are they? Except, well, the police won't be looking for us, but there may be Gavigan's friends watching. So actually, that might not be a bad idea if we get Mr. Briggs to clear out everything and we wait in the car out of sight.
Just in case. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably very wise. We should probably not show our faces again, so he can just go up to the room and.
Are you going to give him your keys to your room? Get him to check out then and pay.
No, just go and get our stuff,
Oh, I see.
but not check out.
He could always leave the keys on reception.
Yeah, we do. Do we
And
pay in
some
advance?
money.
I can't remember.
Yeah, you
I
actually
think
did. You pay for the night that you already had.
Yeah, so just leave the keys at reception, and that's fine.
Probably wise to check out. Otherwise, we'll attract more attention.
Well, exactly. So just leave the key and leave it at that. We don't need to do anything more than that, do we? And then he can go and get the items from the boxes at the station, and then we'll head back. Right, we good?
Yeah.
Right,
Okay, so you've changed your clothes. You've got a nice clean suit on now, both of you.
Nice clean whistle.
Mm-hmm.
All right, jump down out the back. Mr. Briggs, could you give us a hand with these things? We'd like to put them in the boot of your car, if that's all right.
You've got the empty suitcase now, which is where all the clothes are in.
Well, we've got our dirty clothes to put in there.
True. Okay, so you're gonna transfer all of the stuff out the back of the lorry into the boot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Suitcase of the lorry, sir.
I think I don't know. We'll probably keep the suit. I don't know how bad were the clothes. Were they?
I don't normally recommend keeping clothes in that condition, sir.
Probably wise. We need to dispose of the truck as well, so we can dispose of the clothes at the same time. Be careful with these. I'll hand over well, you could probably tell that it's shotguns wrapped
I've
in.
seen shotguns before, sir. Yep.
Good.
No problem.
They need to go in. Yeah, well, they're wrapped, but they're not legal, so probably keep them out of sight. Eh?
Go to the boot they go, sir.
Right. How to get rid of this lorry? we need to take it somewhere and probably burn it out.
I'll look around. This seems fine. How
Well, should we
how
head down
much
to head
how
toward
much
London
petrol
and
how much
find
petrol
somewhere
have you
remote on the way?
No,
how much petrol have you left in it, sir?
it's about a quarter of a tank.
You'll probably get some find some of the drier parts of your clothing and stuff like in there. We'll get that going.
Right, let's take it down. I think this is probably a little bit too of an obvious road, is it not? I don't
Well,
know. I'll leave it.
let's head south in the with the truck and the car and just find somewhere remote on the way.
Okay, and then burn it out, and then we'll head back to Derby then. I'll drive the truck.
Very good.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of them. If you go out of Repton and go south, there's quite a lot of farmland and unpopulated areas.
Yeah.
That you hit pretty much straight away.
Jacob, do you want to travel in the truck, or do you want to go with Mr. Briggs?
I'll travel in the truck for the time being.
Right, you travel south out of Repton for a few miles. When you see a lane, you come to a T junction and you see just off across the T junction is a small lane which seems to head off into looks like a farm lane. And you look around. It's a small kind of, not even a hamlet. It's just a few houses on the cross, but there are lots of smaller roads leading off this main road. So there's bound to be plenty of places down here. There's woods. There's a lake. So it's just take your pick, really. Any particular type of land that you want to just going to leave it
I
in
was
the
just
middle?
wondering if we could just.
We drive the truck into the lake.
That was exactly what I was thinking. Because that's even less attention, isn't it? A burnt out truck is going to attract attention, whereas no truck at all isn't. Yeah, can we push it into the lake?
Okay, you drive down the road which has the sign for the lake on it, and I mean there's a big gravel car park next to the lake. It looks like it used to be some parts of it are still being in use as a quarry, but there's a gravel car park which slopes down towards the lake, so you could easily push the lorry into the lake from there. But you don't.
Well, check how deep the water is before we push it in. So it'd be embarrassing if it kind of goes up to its wheels and then stops.
Yeah, well, with it being an old quarry, it's pretty precipitous on the sides. That you can see there are warning signs. There's actually like a small fence that goes around it as well.
How about leave it in gear? Put the engine on, leave it in gear, and we'll just wedge something against the accelerator, and it can drive itself.
Yeah. Well, let's the small fence. Can we dismantle that?
Yeah.
I'll dismantle it and then put the fence back afterwards.
It's just like a steel wire fence, so you can. I mean,
flatten it.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make it so nobody looks like it goes looking for the fact that something's gone through the fence. That was all.
There's a drop of about 6 foot. Actually, looking at it from the side, there's quite a big drop. So it will drop before it even hits the water.
Okay. Fine.
We'll leave the engine on, put it in gear, take one of the boxes that we unloaded from the back, and wedge the accelerator down.
Right, hold on. Before we do any of that, I want to check all our clothes that are going in there to make sure that none of them have got anyone's names in them.
Yeah, my wallet's in the trouser pocket.
Yeah. So if there's nothing identifiable, it's just clothes, then that's fine. They'll rot away anyway eventually.
Okay. You make sure you remove any items from anything that could be traceable to you in any way.
I'll rip the labels out because they'll probably, for my clothes at least, because they'll be
well, mine as well. They're all
American.
Okay, taking all the labels out. Doing anything else before you try and push it in?
Nothing else in the truck, is there?
No,
got the shotguns. We've unloaded all the strange artifacts.
Okay, yeah, you put all those in the boot of the Vauxhall.
Yep.
Okay, right. So the three of you easily managed to push the truck over the edge of the quarry, and you watch it drop the short distance into it hits the water with an almighty splash, and then begins to sink quickly. And in about 5 minutes, it's vanished from view.
Right, excellent. Mr. Briggs, could you take us to Derby, please?
No problem.
Okay.
I'll sit in the front if that's all right.
Yeah, I'll sit in the back.
Okay, you all jump into the Vauxhall. Mr. Briggs duly obliges by driving you back north to Derby. by the time you reach the outskirts of Derby, it's just past midday. So where are you heading?
Right. So, slightly difficult, Mr. Briggs. We would rather not show our faces in town, given some things that happened last night and the possibility that people may be looking for us. So, we'd appreciate it if you could park up in a side road and then make your way to the station and using these keys, hand over the keys, are if you could retrieve everything from the boxes in the station that we've left there and return the keys to the desk, then return those items to us here, and then following that, go to our hotel, retrieve all our clothes and other items from the hotel, and leave the keys on reception, and then return to us with everything. There's you may find some unusual items in amongst those that we're asking you to collect. Some large books. I would suggest that you don't examine any of them too closely.
Not really paid to examine books, Mr. Blake.
No,
But,
I figure not, but these ones are
not-
particularly sensitive, shall we say.
Your books are not my concern, sir. I will crack on as you asked.
Just
We
on that
shall-
then. So can I just remind me, because were they? Did you take you took them all out of this? Or they were in cases originally, weren't they?
They're all in cases, and they're at the station. The only one we took out,
Yeah,
the scroll
Yeah.
made its own way, but we've lost that. And then there was the one that
the one that.
Anton, may he rest in peace, was trying to read.
Yeah. So, but the rest, what I'm getting at is the rest of them. It's not just loose in the lockers. In the locker.
No,
but it's
no,
like
no.
They're all in cases, aren't they?
No, it was more in reference to the one that he's going to find in the
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's right. Just
in
want
the
to make
room.
sure. Yeah. So he's
Oh,
got
I'd
to
love to see him sort of like juggling artifacts and Cthulhu statues, and I've got the Cthulhu statue with me, so anyway.
wandering along the platform with a.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's like I think it was just two big cases.
yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Briggs, you're going to head to the station.
Yep.
Are you going to? So you're going to stay in the car outside the other two, and you're just going to go in? Is
Yeah,
that right?
down a side road. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess I just go straight into the station with the key. Do I go up to said lockboxes?
Okay.
Do I have to speak to an attendant, or is it just I've got the key so I can get into it?
No, there is an attendant there. Just bear with me a second. Okay, you make your way up to the attendant. It's a kind of a youngish lady. Good morning. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, ma'am. I've just come to empty out my collected deposit box, the locker, hand over the key.
She looks at the key with the number on it. She turns to the safety deposit boxes, and then she turns back to you and says, "If you don't mind me asking, so you aren't the gentleman who deposited these items? I remember he was a bit taller. There was a few of them."
Yes, that's correct. Group of four friends. So me here. Now they've asked me to pick it up.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, she goes over to the locker and unlocks it. She tries to she picks out one of the or tries to carry out one of the cases. Oh, they're a bit heavy for me, so you think you better do that yourself?
Oh, of course, ma'am, of course. Scoot round and get it.
Yeah. Okay, you retrieve the cases. She smiles, and you head back out.
Head straight back round to the car and put the cases in the boot. Get into the front of the car. Turn to Mr. Blake. Hotel next, sir.
Yes, please.
Right. Drive round to a bit closer to the hotel.
Okay, you head to the Old Bell Hotel in the centre of Derby, and presently you are out and inside that building. Okay, you just given him the room key, so you're just going to go straight to the room, are you? You're not going to go to reception to start with.
No, I don't need to. I'll just go straight up to the rooms.
Okay, as you enter the room, the reception, you see the receptionist is deep in conversation with a policeman.
Yeah.
Is that going to change anything that you do, or are you just going to head straight to the room?
No, head straight to the room.
Okay, you unlock the door, and in you go. The room all seems in order. There's not much in the way of belongings. I guess you'd have just told him all the things that you needed for him to recover.
Yeah.
And it seems that they're all in the places that your new colleagues told you, so nothing's been disturbed.
Yeah.
So you quickly retrieve all of the objects, including the weird-looking book that Blake has already referenced.
Okay. I'll get all of those, and I will just leave the keys in the lock. I'm not going to go back to the receptionist and hand the key in. I'll just leave the keys in the locks and go.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you go in back through the lobby and then out without even looking back. Round the corner, and the other two see you coming towards the car. Put the stuff in, opens the boot, and then jump into the car. What now?
Thank you, Mr. Briggs. Good work. Did you have any difficulty?
No, there's a policeman talking to the receptionist. I didn't ask him why. London, sir? London?
Yes, please.
Any particular part? Not
Um,
heading to Mr. Finch's manor directly, I assume.
I'd prefer not to get Mr. Finch directly involved at this stage, if that's all right. Maybe if you take us. Is there a lockup where we could drop these items off until we decide what to do with them?
If you wish me to secure these, then I can probably have that arranged, yes.
Excellent. And then after that, once we found somewhere, then if you could perhaps drop us off at our hotel, that would be appreciated. On the drive back, we may need to discuss with you some further work we might need your assistance with. But for now, somewhere secure for the items in the boot, and then back to our hotel, if you would.
Very good, sir.
Okay, so you begin the drive back to London, then, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you gonna drop them off at the hotel first?
No, I want to see what I want. Okay, up to you. If you think it's safer that.
Yeah, I'll just drop them off at the hotel and then just because everything is safe in the boot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Okay.
Is Mr. Finch well enough dressed that he could have lunch in the hotel, or would he stand out?
Mr. Briggs.
Mr.
Well, I
Briggs.
say Finch, Briggs.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, he wouldn't stand out. No, he wouldn't stand out. His suit is a little cheap cut, and last year's fashion, or maybe the year before. But no, he's not. He's not.
Excellent.
He looks a bit like a valet, I guess. That's kind of.
It's been a long drive, Mr. Briggs. Would you care to take some lunch with us?
I don't mind if I do.
Excellent.
Well,
well, if you could take those items first and then come back.
I'll take a bus back. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, sir.
Excellent. Well,
okay, you're gonna pull up outside Brown's, drop them off, and then you're gonna go. You're going back off to Bethnal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we'll wait. We'll go out to our room, sort ourselves out, put on some better clothes, and then go wait in the restaurant for Mr. Briggs to
Can you
come
make
back.
a spot hidden roll, please? Both you and Jacob.
Yeah, success.
Success.
Okay. As you turn the corner into the street where Brown's Hotel is, obviously you begin slow, with the intention of being dropped off. When you notice two Egyptian-looking gentlemen that are standing opposite the hotel, they are. You don't recognise them, but you have a horrible feeling that you've seen them before. They have that kind of familiar look to them.
Yeah.
Possibly a nightclub of ill repute.
Do you want to keep driving, Mr. Briggs?
Problems, sir?
Our hotel is being watched. If you look carefully out to your left, you'll see two Egyptian-looking fellows watching. Some Egyptians that we've been dealing with. We think they're probably watching out for us. Keep driving while we decide what to do. Question would be, Jacob, does it really matter that they know we're in there? They can't do anything. We need to go into the hotel. We could lose them again. Or do we just go straight to the Limehouse now?
We don't need to go back to the hotel right this minute. I'd rather they didn't know where we were.
I suppose also it keeps two of them busy, doesn't it? How about we swing past the Limehouse?
Yeah. Perhaps if we come back to the hotel, perhaps when it's dark, we might have more chance of slipping in unnoticed.
So we have the address for the Limehouse. It's Childry Ropemakers Fields Limehouse. Was the Ivory Wind was the name of the ship, was it, that was shipping the stuff to Shanghai? Was that the name of the company? My notes aren't clear. Ivory Wind, Punnet, Chaudhry, Ropemakers Fields, Limehouse, warehousing and shipment of Shanghai. Let's take a drive over there and see if we can identify the correct building.
You're gonna,
Yes,
okay,
it
so
was.
you're going to drive to You're going to get Briggs to drive to Limehouse then.
Yeah.
Okay.
My note, there was a letter from Punnet Chowdhury of Ropemakers Fields, Limehouse, relating
Right.
to shipping and warehousing of antiquities to Shanghai on a ship, the Ivory Wind. It was
Yeah.
dated August 1924.
Yeah, that's tallies with my notes as well, except I was missing a comma,
I've also put business card wedged into corner with Empire Spices.
which is the name of what's her
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
Which means there's no way she's not in cahoots with them in some way, shape, or form.
She also reminded us that there was a ritual at Gavigan's house in Essex on the 19th. Today's the 16th, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Monday today. She said the ritual was going to be on Thursday.
If the theory that Lex's theory that she was potentially attempting to take over, or a competing group trying to take over Gavgan's operation, then it would definitely be within her interest to have us disrupt the ceremony. But then equally, if
Okay.
she was
Perhaps we
just
should
trying to disrupt us,
Perhaps we should speak to her and find out just how keen she is for us to disrupt the ritual. I mean,
all right then. Well,
we've got a reason to speak to her. She sent us this message. She's reached out to try and contact us. It also said more information to follow.
all right then. Seeing as we're out and about, we either go to Limehouse and see what's going on there, or we go to the spice shop and speak to her.
Is there much we're going to be able to find at Limehouse? Oh,
I don't know.
puts
We
me in
found a
mind.
lot at the last factory we went to. We did quite well.
Well, might as well have a look.
Okay, so you're going to head to Limehouse, are you?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So, Mr. Briggs, you are driving to Limehouse. Ropemakers Fields is a particular part of Limehouse, just between the River Thames and then the Limehouse Basin. There's quite a lot of docks and warehouses around that particular area, which obviously would tie in with the information that you've been given. As you drive in to Limehouse, obviously it's rather a much less salubrious area than some of the other places that you've been used to hanging out in London. Gritty, bustling district centred on the docks, teeming with workers, sailors and immigrants, especially from China. It is well known for its vibrant yet rough character, and the area has many Chinese businesses, opium dens and lodging houses catering to a transient dock workers and seamen. It's famous for its narrow, winding streets, where a mix of cultures create a unique atmosphere distinct from other parts of London. There is much poverty here, and many residents live in overcrowded tenements, amid the noise of ship horns, factory smoke, and the constant flow of cargo in and out of the docks. Okay, you drive to Ropemakers Fields. This is an area which is completely littered with warehouses, one after another, literally dozens of them around the kind of the dock area. What are you going to do when you get to Ropemakers Fields?
We don't have a business name, do we? We've got a letter from this Punnet Chowdhury person. I suppose that might be the name of the business.
It may well be, and maybe. How close to the docks are we?
You're right. The Ropemakers Fields is right next to the docks. It's on the docks, pretty much.
Right. So if it's possible that the Ivory Wind could be here, and it's possible it could be docked close to the warehouse that we're looking for.
There's there are there's the wharfs on the River Thames, so Molineux Wharf and Victoria Wharf, but you've also got Ropemakers Field also borders with the Limehouse Basin, which is a canal as well.
Right.
So there's quite a lot
to be looking for.
Yeah.
Well, let's get out and just walk up.
So we'll walk around looking for the name Chowdhury in connection with the businesses, or the Ivory Wind.
Mr. Briggs, if you could help us, we're trying to find a warehouse name related to Punit Chowdhury. They're sending stuff out via a ship called the Ivory Wind, so keep an eye out for that as well. If you spot it, let us know. We want to observe to see comings and goings. If it looks like it's not busy, we may like to pay them a visit to see what's going on in there and what kind of things they're shipping.
Although it may be, Douglas, that both literally and metaphorically that ship has sailed.
Absolutely.
The letter was dated. The letter was dated August. Oh, sorry. I also remember George, one of the security guards at the Penhew Foundation, mentioned that Limehouse was the end or the point of delivery from some of the trucks from the Penhew Foundation. So presumably they were taking them from the Penhew Foundation to Chowdhury to be shipped out.
True, but we saw a lorry taking stuff away, and that was obviously post-August, so it might be more than one shipment. So if the Ivory Wind has left, there may be another ship, or the Ivory Wind is going to be making a return voyage and will collect whatever it is that they're stockpiling at the warehouse. So Limehouse is likely to contain more of the kind of things that we found in Gavigan's cellar.
The Chowdhury's warehouse.
Yes.
That's where you want to go to.
Yes. Well, we think it's called.
Do you want to stash the things that are in the car first?
I thought you'd already. Yeah, of course. Yes, we never dropped it. We never dropped us off. Yes,
I think that would probably around.
Yes, I think that would be wise. Let's go and drop that first.
All right, because.
Well, how about you go and drop it? How far will you
get
be?
it safe? Right, get us off and get it safe, and then I'll take it straight there because I know where it is.
Oh, excellent. Oh, well, in which case, let's do that.
I live up the street, no problem.
Excellent.
It's not the safest of manners, mind, but I can take you straight there.
Well, compared to where we've been recently, I'm not overly concerned about safety. Right, let's go. Drop this stuff off. Good thinking, Mr. Briggs.
Okay, you're going to go on to Stepney then. Sorry, Bethnal. Sorry, that Bethnal Green is where you're from, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Yep. And equally,
I'll stash the car back in one of Mr. Finch's garages. Leave that there. Lock it up behind me, and then we'll hail a taxi just to get a little bit closer, and then we'll walk down to the warehouse.
Okay. Right. Yeah. So as you you're back in Limehouse after dropping off your stuff, walking on foot, you get to the pleasant aroma of the docks as well. The smell of the mixed smell of untreated sewage, opium, and fish, which is quite a heady mixture.
Sounds like my wedding reception.
Okay. Yeah. So, are you just going to take them straight there to the warehouse?
Yeah, because that's what they want.
Do you know anything about this business, Mr. Briggs? Chowdhury?
Sorry, I didn't. I think I broke up then. I couldn't. Did somebody just say something then?
I know that the people who guard it are a rough sort. It's a storage warehouse. Don't really know what sort of thing they store down there. It's not how do I phrase this? It's not allied to the sort of people that I work with and for.
Okay.
Okay, you're standing in front of a large red brick warehouse. There's no nothing on it to suggest that it's Chowdhury's. It has no name. It has no business name or anything like that. There isn't really any activity around the warehouse currently, except for there are large in front of the main kind of. There are large doors. There's a couple of three scruffy-looking individuals gathered around a hastily made fire in a metal basket, smoking and laughing. They're all of Asian origin. The folk of Limehouse would call them lascars, rough-looking sorts, sailors. A lot of these type of a lot of British ships employ lascars as they're renowned as good sailors on low wages, work long hours, and there's lots of them here in this part of the city. have a reputation for being particularly rough and not to be crossed.
Concern, Jacob, is that they're prepared for us as the
They're not.
factory
They're
and
not. They're not prepared for you, sir. They're prepared for everyone. They're always guarding these sorts of storage warehouses. What sort of thing are you looking to have a look at, shall we say? I'm not suggesting you're looking to boost
I think we-
anything that don't belong to you, but what sort of thing are you hoping to have a look at in that old storage warehouse?
There is parties who we are investigating, shall we say, who we believe to be shipping items, contraband to Shanghai that we would rather didn't make it there. We don't want to take possession of those items. We would prefer they were destroyed. Plus, we would need any further information as to associates who might have been involved. So any paperwork that we could find in there that would tell us more about their contacts in Shanghai or contacts in London or any ports in between that they might stop at.
We could find some of that information out, couldn't we, from Lloyd's of London, if the ship has sailed?
I mean,
Yes.
where did you say it was headed to?
Shanghai.
Ah, yeah. I mean, these last guys, they go all over. Go all the way down to Australia, some of them.
Well, it's possible that some of the items that are being shipped will make their way to Australia, well, the Northern Territory to be exact.
But to answer your question, Mr. Briggs, we'd quite like to have a look around, but sounds like this might be a little bit well guarded.
Tread careful, because I reckon I could throw a stone and hit some opium, some firearms, some stolen goods. Probably get, well, in fact, what I probably couldn't hit if I threw a stone is something that's legal around here.
Right. Unlikely to be interrupted by coppers then.
They're
At least
as scared of the mob around here as you should be. But then again, maybe some of the mobsters around here didn't wander across the moors and die covered in blood late at night. So maybe you two are bad men, and you'll be all right.
good men that do bad things, I think you'll find. Right. We need to make a decision. I'm not thinking of frontal assault, let alone badly, and it's been a bad enough day for our side already. We know where this place is. We can come back at night
I think that's the best approach.
quietly. Do we go and pay Mr. Gavigan a visit, or do we go and pay Shafiq a visit? Probably the lowest risk is this Shafiq, would you say?
I think so.
I don't think Gavigan's going to want
Gavigan's
to.
Gavigan's going to want to take our heads.
Well,
I would have thought.
I suspect that Shafiq is equally as dangerous. If
Well,
not because she's more of an unknown.
She wants something from us, though, doesn't she? She wants assistance,
True.
whereas I suspect Gavigan would like nothing more than to
See us dead.
end us.
Right. Take the lead, Jacob. I think Miss Shafiq is.
No disrespect to you, gents, but I'm going to part ways with you here. I need to report back to Mr. Finch. I've got you safely back to London in some nice new clothes, as per my instructions. Just find out what he would like me to do next.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your time. Please give my regards to Mr. Finch. If we do need your services again, I'm assuming I contact Mr. Finch.
That probably would be best, sir.
Excellent. Thank you again for your good work and discretion.
Yes, thank you, Briggs.
Head off.
Looks like he could handle himself.
You are rather conscious of the fact you're now standing in the middle of Limehouse in suits.
Yeah, I think we need to make a move, Jacob.
Yeah, well, head away.
You have a few inquisitive glances being aimed in your direction. Okay, you quickly
As we walk away, Douglas, Mr. Finch, is he what we would refer to back in the States as connected?
Yes, I would say so. Not connected in the sense that you mean in terms of a taste for pasta, but certainly a man of influence, shall we say, of certain areas of the city. Every town, city has its firms.
Oh, I know. I'm sure they're similar here as they are back home. Briggs had that air about him. Come across
Indeed.
as like before, although, as you say, they often They're often of Italian descent back home.
No, Mr. Finch most definitely is not Italian. He does, however, share some interests with ours. So let us say that his influence may be of use to us. Anyway, probably the less you know about him, the better. A good friend to have, a worse enemy. What do we do?
You're wandering out of Limehouse now, I
Yeah,
guess.
we are.
We are, yeah, talking on
Okay.
the way.
Yeah.
Well, Gavigan seems to be watching our every move.
It seems
He
to
may-
be it's beginning to get dusky now. It's pressing on time wise.
Will we get to Wartle Street in time or is her shop going to be shut by then?
Yeah,
It's
you'll
not
get there.
Wart-
You'll get there before 5. Yeah.
Okay. We pay her a visit. You do the stalking. Stalking? The talking. Jacob. And I will wait by the door.
Okay.
If she looks, and I warn you now, I'm not taking any chances with her. If things start looking dangerous, there's going to be firearms involved.
Well, I'm thinking of expressing my dissatisfaction with our little arrangement with her. It seems to be decidedly one way. Seems to want us to do things without explaining why or what's going on.
Do we tell her that we went into Gavigan's and that we got something from the safe? See what her reaction is. If we say yes, we have, and that it's safe with our compatriots, see what her reaction is, and we'd know we definitely didn't open the seal.
Okay. I want to find out more about the ritual. She's been
Yeah,
told that
fine.
parrot there. So perhaps we'll start with that.
Yeah,
But I'm really looking for
Okay.
her to be sharing a bit more with us than she has.
yeah.
You Jacob, you notice as you've been you've made your way out of Limehouse now, heading back towards west. I guess you're going to either towards the underground station, the hail a taxi. There are 3 of the individuals that you saw in Limehouse that appeared. You don't know when they appeared, but they're kind of in the same area of the warehouse. They have followed you out. They are all of them kind of white British looking, but they're quite large, muscly gentlemen. Probably of the lower classes. Probably of similar nature to your friend Briggs, to be honest. But they're definitely following you. Have you
Are they
noticed?
catching us up?
No, they're keeping a distance from you, but they're watching you. As far as
Okay.
Jacob's noticed them a couple of times, and the third time he notices them, he realizes that they must be following you.
Perhaps we need to hail a cab and get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, they may be following us just because we're on their patch and we look like marks, or they may be following us because they know who we are. Either way, we should lose them.
Okay.
Hail the first cab we see.
Okay, you hail a cab. You jump in. Where to, sir?
Square. Trafalgar
Sorry?
Square, please.
Okay. The cabbie pulls off, and you see the 3 gentlemen that you saw. They hail a taxi directly behind you as well. And as the car pulls off, heading towards Trafalgar Square, you are now being tailed by a second taxi.
Where did we first see these 3?
You only really noticed them after in Limehouse when you were standing in front of the warehouse, that sort of area. The cabbie says, "Trouble, sir? I can see you keep looking behind us. We're not being followed, are we?"
Yes, we are. We seem to have picked up some attention whilst we were in the docks. We were slightly concerned that we were going to be robbed.
Gentlemen such as you shouldn't really be in that area of the city.
No, I think we've just discovered that. Seems surprising that they should follow us out into the more, well, I call laughingly safe parts of the city. What would you suggest?
All the coppers, I guess.
Where's the nearest police station to here? Could you drive us?
Yeah, it's just half a mile or so from me. I'll drop you outside if you like.
That would be perfect, thank you.
Okay. He swings around a couple of turns, and then drops you outside the police station. You see a taxi. The taxi that was following you pulls up about a couple 100 yards off at the end of the street, and the 3 men get out. You get out of your taxi, pay your fare. What you actually going to go into the police station?
Yep.
Okay.
Go to the desk.
Okay. You go to the desk. There is a desk sergeant at the desk.
Good afternoon, Sergeant.
Afternoon, sir. How can I be of assistance to you?
It's slightly confusing, slightly concerning. Myself and my friend here, we appear to be being followed by some gentlemen. We were recently in Limehouse investigating potentially renting a warehouse, and they followed us out, and they appear to have followed us all the way here. Hopefully, they'll have departed when they saw us come into the police station. But I was hoping that perhaps you could go outside and speak to them, scare them off. Don't know what their intention is. We initially thought that they were perhaps seeking to rob us, but the fact that they've followed us out of the Limehouse area leads us to be slightly concerned that perhaps their motives are even more nefarious.
Well, you're well to be concerned, sir, if you've been hanging around in Limehouse for too long.
I know that was our taxi driver did say that to us, and obviously that was rather foolish of us. We'll obviously
They
learn not to do that again.
Yes, well, probably muggers or robbers of such type. That's why they've followed you, sir. They can see that you're a well-to-do gentleman.
Do you think you could just maybe step outside with us and we'll point them out, and maybe that will scare them off?
Constable, over here. He calls the constable over. Oi, you give a description to my man here, and see he'll go and have a word with them.
Much appreciated. We shall provide a description, an accurate description, no less.
Okay. The constable is dispatched outside, and then similar returns shortly afterwards to report that there is no sign of any individuals of that description on the street or down.
That is excellent. I'm so sorry to have wasted your time, but I suspect they probably made their escape once they realised that we were speaking to you. Thank you, and apologies for wasting your time. We will, of course, be much more careful of which parts of the city we frequent in future.
If you're concerned, so I could always send Constable Beddoes home with you to make sure that you get back safely wherever you're staying.
No, that's not a problem at all. I suspect that we won't be going through any dubious areas. We'll get a taxi straight back to our hotel. But thank you very much for the offer.
That's fine, sir. Okay, well, have a good evening. I would suggest that you don't return to Limehouse, especially as the light begins to dim.
No, definitely not. Learned our lessons. Thank you again. Good day.
Good evening, sir. Okay, head back out onto the street. It is beginning to get dark now. And it is, as the constable reported, there is no sign of the three burly-looking ne'er-do-wells that were following you previously.
Very good. Do we go to Miss Jeffrey? Is it too late now?
Yeah, it's getting towards 5 now. You're currently you're in the Shadwell district, which itself isn't particularly nice, but it's not quite as bad as Limehouse. If you want to head towards, you could probably get there just before 5, but it's going to be dark by the time you get there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I really want to be. I'm also concerned about Stanton and Fog. Not Stanton. Sorry, Jacob. And Fog.
Should we head back? Should we see if we can get back to the hotel?
Stanton is on my mind. I'm fumbling with his pendant in my pocket as I'm speaking.
Should we head back to the hotel? We've got to try and get back in without spotted.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, you're going to head back to Brown's. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's the best thing to do to be dropped off. Well, we can either try and get from the taxi to the door without. Where are the sentries, as it were? Are they the other side of the road, or?
Yeah, they were on the other side of the road. Yeah. So not on the same side. Yeah, they were in a doorway across the road.
Were they hiding, or were they making themselves? I mean, were they making any effort to conceal themselves? So you say they're in a doorway.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they weren't. They weren't hiding as such, but they weren't. Yeah, they were just. I think. How can I explain? They were just standing. I mean, there's obviously a lot of people going up and down the street. Okay, so you just happened to spot them. It's not like they were trying to make themselves. So you would guess they were trying to just blend in.
Blend in, yeah. Rather than all right.
It was only the fact that you recognised them.
That it would. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So hiding in plain sight, I think, is probably.
We could either pull up in a taxi right in front and get out, so the taxi is between us and them, or alternatively get out round the corner and try and sneak into the.
Alternatively,
hotel.
go to a different hotel.
Yeah.
Like as you said before, we don't have any requirement to go back to there. I mean, other than to collect clean clothes and things, there's nothing of any
Yeah, all of
significance.
your stuff's just your normal stuff is there, though, isn't it?
All our
Like,
We
gear's
could all-
there.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
if we stay at a decent hotel, we can get someone from the hotel to go and collect our gear.
Yes, we could. We could. Maybe we'd be better off staying in a different hotel tonight. There'll be toiletries and things at any decent hotel, so we don't need to worry about that.
No, and I'd like to at least try and stay one step ahead of them.
Right. In
Not
which
going to be
case,
easy.
Okay, whereabouts do you want to go in London? Which part are you looking at?
that's going to definitely be North London. Not going south of the river this time of night.
You want to go?
Let's go along the Strand.
Okay.
There's hotels on the Strand.
Okie dokie. Do you want to stay in I presume you'll want to be staying in a kind of high end hotel again because
Yeah.
you'll still
Yeah.
need one with a suite.
A
Won't you?
very, very high-end hotel on the basis that they are very good at discretion.
Yeah, better security.
Okay. Well, Savoy, I suppose, would be high end,
Yes, good choice.
considering you're not really paying.
We actually, speaking of such things, we do need to send an update, don't we?
Yeah, you haven't actually contacted anybody from the States since you got here.
Well, let's do that in the evening.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're going to check into the Savoy Hotel, and you're going to ask them to send somebody to go and get your gear from Brown's. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's gear.
Okay.
So Stanton's and Lex's as well. And we want discretion when it is moved. Everything is moved.
Of course, discretion is our middle name here.
Of course.
A suite, you say? We have a suite on the 3rd floor that would be perfect.
Excellent. Thank you.
Are you wishing a reservation for dinner?
Yes, please. Jacob,
I
7?
think so.
Yes, reservations for 7, please.
Of course, sir. And how long would you like to pay for in advance?
Perhaps a week.
A week. Yes, let's say a week.
Okay. Let's pay a week in advance. You're shown to your suite, which is even nicer than the one you're staying in Brown's. It's actually a 3-bedroom suite, this one. Okay. And presently a bellboy brings all of your gear that have been fetched from Brown's, knocks on the door, and various trolleys come in with your gear. Will there be anything else, sir?
Yes. I require some additional attire to be purchased. Could I have a tailor come to the room tomorrow?
A tailor, sir, of course, sir. I will make that arrangement for you straight away, sir.
Thank you.
Any particular time?
9, I think. First thing.
9 o'clock, sir, of course, sir.
So it would be wise to get some replacement clothes from those that we lost, Jacob.
Good idea. I just realised we haven't eaten today. It's forgotten in all the
Kind of
I hesitate to use the word
lost
excitement.
lost my appetite given what's happened. May I suggest we go to the bar?
I could do with a drink.
I head down to
Okay.
the bar. I shall go straight up to the bar, and I shall
Mhm.
order 5 pisco sours, 1 each for us and 1 each of our lost friends.
The barman raises an eyebrow. Don't have that ordered very often.
No, fond memories from travels far and wide with good friends, absent
We're
friends.
sadly no longer with us.
I'm sorry to hear that. He mixes the cocktails and hands them over to you.
Take them over to a table and sit down.
Toast to
Moments
lost friends.
to lost friends. Let's get planning.
Okay. You sit staring at the undrunken cocktails, thinking of your lost friends momentarily before reaverting your attention to the matter at hand.
Now that
What's
the adrenaline is wearing off, it is feeling the loss and feeling lost. Sorry, Darren, you were saying?
Sorry, I'm sorry. I was just going to say one of the barmen approaches you, offers you a cigar.
Just accept it, thank you.
We talked mentioned Douglas about the possibility of not carrying on at all.
It's not really a choice, is it? How do we go back to normal life now? I don't even know what normal life is anymore. I'm not sure I could know what to go back to. We can't go back to New York because there are people there hunting us. There are people hunting us here. The only thing we can do is go forward. If
Yeah,
we give up, then Lex died for no reason. Stanton died for no reason.
can't help
We know.
feeling the need for revenge.
Well, that's a good enough reason as any. As I said, I want to burn it all down. But if our desire for revenge is aligned with averting what sounds like some plot to summon something to destroy the world as we know it, then all the better. I don't think we have a choice.
No, I agree, but I don't think we know enough about it yet to know how to inflict the most damage upon them.
Well, that's the
can't
trouble,
help-
though, isn't it? That's what Stanton was doing. That was Stanton's greatest strength, is that he was willing to read the books. He's got the knowledge. I mean, we both have a degree of knowledge of the mundane occult, fantasy and fiction, but he was the only one that knew anything about the true nature of what we're investigating. He's the only one that had read the books. So does that mean we have to read the books? Know your enemy. That thing that I saw, the thing that took Stanton, if I did hit it with a bullet, it had no impact. So we either need much, much bigger guns, or we need magic. We need something like what was cast on me back in New York, something
I
that
think
sucks
I think-
life force.
I think we need to fight fire with fire, but the problem with magic and those books is they come at terrible cost. I'll be honest, Douglas. I'm not sure I've got it in me or the strength to study those books again.
It may fall to me, or maybe we find somebody else who can help us, someone who's got some kind of knowledge. There may be, I don't know.
We do need help. I think the two of us alone it's not going to work.
If we'd have been unlucky with that creature, then everything would have died with us. We need to make sure that we don't risk everything like that again. You're right that only the two of us is not enough for what we need.
But we also need someone who we can trust. I don't know where we're going to find someone who has the skills we need.
Someone we can trust, and someone that knows and understands or is willing to learn the true nature of what it is we're fighting. That's a big ask. I'm not sure. I mean, that doesn't even describe us, unless you're planning on recruiting a attractive Egyptian woman to our cause.
Well, we need to speak to her. That's tomorrow's plan, is it? I
That is
can't think
tomorrow.
I can't think of anything else we could do.
Well, we're not going to be going back to Limehouse tonight, are we? We're not going to go and see
No.
Gavigan, and Shafiq is the only other obvious route. I mean, we've got Gavigan's house, but I mean, we could check that out prior to the ceremony, so that we can know what's there before we pay it a visit. And we need to decide what we're going to do then as well, because there is going to be a ritual. That ritual may well involve magic or the summoning of some kind of creature, and there will be lots of them there. So
Well,
not only
that's why we need some information from the Shafiq. We can't just go in there blind. We need to understand what it is that we're going in for and
Yeah.
what
So,
it is
yeah.
we're trying to stop.
And how do you stop it? You've got 10, say there's 10 cultists, even assuming that they don't manage to summon something that swallows us whole. How do we stop 10 people? Because if they've got guns, just one of them needs a lucky shot and we're dead. And how do you stop them? I mean, short of rigging the place with explosives and blowing it to kingdom come, maybe we need to stop them before the ceremony. We pick them off, or we destroy the means for them to do the ceremony in the first place. So we go to his house and destroy the means. You assume that they might need materials for the summoning, that bowl, books. If we can destroy those items, then they can't carry out their ceremony. And their ceremony is obviously
Yeah.
important.
Sounds a safer course of action, but it's dependent on Shafiq sharing something with us and
Yeah, we
about the
don't know
nature
what
of the ritual.
we don't know what it is we need to destroy to prevent something that we don't understand happening.
Yeah, gonna have to give us some answers for a change.
Well, so what if she turns out not to be on our side? Do we try and extract those from her? We don't have a great experience of extracting information from insane zealots.
Well, at the
suppose
moment, she wants things from us, doesn't she? She clearly wanted us to get into the Penhew Foundation. She clearly wants us to Well, she wants us to know about the ritual. She presumably wants us to frustrate
Stop
the ritual.
Yeah.
She's got an interest in us succeeding. Question is,
Okay,
we
so-
don't know what that interest is, do we? Whether it's good intentioned or whether it's a power grab.
Well, I suppose either way, for now, it doesn't matter if what her intentions are, as long as our journeys are aligned for the time being.
So they seem
We
to
can
be.
we use each other. It's just the point at which we decide to diverge from her path.
Okay. We'll draw the curtain there with Jacob and Blake sitting in the American bar of the Savoy. The bar hums with a quiet murmur of conversation, the soft strains of a pianist playing something low and melancholic. You sit together, yet each seem alone in your thoughts, your glasses of pisco sour untouched for long moments before a sip was taken. The taste, tart lime, smooth brandy, the faint sweetness of syrup was sharp on your tongue, but not enough to cut through the sorrow. You come here in honour of those that had fallen, friends lost to the darkness, to forces beyond understanding, and to things that should not be. Each empty seat at your table is a wound that will never fully heal. There had been laughter once, plans made, and dreams shared. Now, only memories remain, echoing like ghosts in the flickering candlelight. They should be here with us, Blake said.
A sombre end there as we reflect on the two investigators we'd lost in what truly is perilous adventures to thwart the dark god. But on the bright side, Mr. Briggs sounds like he's going to be a laugh a minute. Well, we'll find out next time on Steady Rolling Man Presents The Masks of Nyarlathotep.